Hey everybody, this is Skaduush. Welcome back to another Let's Play for TUG. We're not going to play so much as we are going to talk about repairing tools, weapons, and the various techniques you can take to repair your implements as you play the game. A couple of which are going to be kind of cheaty, a little cheesy, and the others are going to be, of course, what I believe are the legitimate, more game intended manners to repair your gear. So, as you can see, here's my inventory. I got a few items in here. I got a couple hammers. Let me take this hammer out of the way. I got a couple of axes, some of which are in different states of disrepair and repair. Let me just show you right quick. We have a axe that is pretty much untouched. I don't believe I've used that completely, so it's still intact 100%. One that it is in relatively used state, still kind of looks like the other one, can't really tell too much from it. And then one that is utterly destroyed and near breaking. I think one more swing and that one would go down. We also have a bronze tool, just for an example's sake, and you can see while it's still in my hand, it gives kind of a color indicator. You can see some coloration starting on it, and also while it's on the ground, you get that coloration to indicate that it's been used. But these are the different states at which you see tools starting to decay, starting to need repair. Of course, your fresh new tool won't need repair, so we won't play with that one too much. The repair that is only slight, we'll talk about that one here in a second, and of course the completely destroyed one and the bronze tools, and we'll look at all the differences between all of those as well. All right. So to start repairing, we'll talk about the cheat method, and I look at it this way because this is probably not something that's intended. So if you were to place items on the ground that are damaged, and then log out and log back in, when you come back in, they should be in a repaired state. This is probably a bug or just an oversight they have not yet fixed. Also within the game, you can disassemble Stone Age tools using the workbench. So if I take this one that's partially damaged and I drop it here so you can see it on the workbench, I can hit my crafting key and it will actually disassemble it and give me all the parts back. Now, the tool head is completely fresh. The vine doesn't have a health bar, and neither seriously? Go over there. Neither does the wooden handle. So if I take all three of these parts and put them back, because that's all I have in here, I can just reassemble that same tool and it's 100% fresh. The same thing goes for the one that's completely broken down, but I'm going to save that one for later. But if you look at, say, a bronze tool, you cannot disassemble it. I don't think you can disassemble it even with a, let me see if I can do it with a, oh, you can disassemble it with a bronze pick in your hand, okay? So that would disassemble this, and I assume, because I don't have another one that's broken like this, I would assume that using the bronze hammer in your hand would cause it to disassemble back to new again, and then you could reassemble it, okay? So that's what I consider kind of the cheesy method. You're going to unassemble something, it gives you a fresh component, you reassemble it, it's back to good again. That doesn't really make any sense. And also, of course, dropping it on the ground, logging out, and logging back in, that would also consider be kind of cheesy. So let's look at what I believe are the legitimate game mechanics, and then after we're done with this, I'll talk about some suggestions of what I believe might be a good path forward for this. So in the previous video, I talked a lot about the progression from tools in the Stone Age to the Bronze Age, and this is going to be where we talk about the actual stone anvil. I know we assembled it and we talked a little bit about it in the previous video, but it's really more of a Stone Age tool and kind of a Stone Bronze Age tool. So it works for both. So if we take and put this completely destroyed axe on or near, again, it doesn't have to be near, it can be right next, or on it, it can be right next to it, axe, and take a bronze, actually let's go with the stone, just stone for stone, right? You would think stone for stone would do it, right? But nothing happens. I can't craft it. I can't do anything with it. So if I put the bronze in my hand, again, nothing happens. So I can't, for some reason, cannot repair stone tools on a stone anvil. Now, if this is intended, great. If this is not intended, you need to fix it, because your Bronze Age tools are repairable. Let me put that one on the floor. So here's my Bronze Age damaged pick. Now, if I take a crude hammer, I get nothing. Nothing. But then I grab the bronze hammer, and boom, craft, and it puts a brand new pick right up there on top of the stone anvil for me. And if you were paying attention, a very tiny, tiny sliver of the hammer's durability went away. So this is what I assume is the intended game mechanic. Not disassembling, reassembling with fresh components, not laying it on the ground and then logging out and logging back in, but to actually use a stone anvil with a proper tool. Now, here are some of my suggestions as to what the game can do going forward to improve upon this mechanic and make it a little more realistic. Obviously, using stone tools and using the stone anvil and trying to repair stone tools, I would suggest we have either another one of the pick heads that you wish to repair, or you have cobblestone as an ingredient in your inventory that when you do a repair, depending on the level of damage, it would pull more or less cobblestone. Whereas if you had an actual axe head or an axe stone, it would simply just replace that axe stone. I think that's a good way to go forward with the stone repairing while using the stone anvil and stone-based tools. Okay. Now, as for the Bronze Age, we run into a little bit of more cheese because there's nothing being consumed in this process other than durability. So if I want to take if I take this repair hammer and I repair until it is completely destroyed, and I'm hungry right now, so let me go grab a food real quick. There we go. If I take a hammer that is made out of bronze that is completely worn down, and I simply repair it with another hammer, I have a fresh new hammer, and nothing has been consumed. So there's no love loss for having to maintain your durability. It's free. Now, granted, the game is completely early access, so I understand these are things that are new. These are things that we'll have to look at and try to balance throughout the game. But in the Bronze Age, my suggestion is that a full repair would consume 1 bar of latin or bronze. I believe that would be the appropriate path to take, seeing how 1 piece of latin or bronze makes 1 tool head. I believe that would be the way to go forward, is to have some form of consumption and requirement to have it in your inventory at least, if not your hotbar, but at least in your inventory, to have that available to use to repair the tool. But that's where we are. And again, this is just a short video, very quickly talking about the purpose for the stone anvil, some of the ways you probably don't want to be so cheesy or cheaty, but hey, it's still early access, so nobody's really counting, are we? To repair your devices, and some suggestions for how we can improve the repair mechanic, allowing some level of consumption of raw materials, I think is the way to go. But again, hey, this is Skaduush. I'm happy to discuss this in the forums or on my post. So please leave comments if you can. Like, subscribe to my videos, and I hope this was informative, and I hope you learned something from this. Again, if anyone has any questions whatsoever or has any kind of instruction you want me to give you for playing Tug, feel free to leave that in the comments or drop me a note, and I'd be more than happy to give it to you. Again, Skaduush signing off. Have a great day. Enjoy your Tug. Bye-bye.